Hills Up Vindicators, this is Xenoxis, and this is the Xenoxis Show for the 11th of March 2017. We haven't been recording in a pretty long while. If I check YouTube right here, if we go in and check here, I believe it was like over a week ago, even more than that. I think it was like yeah, that would okay. So the last one was 26th of February was the last one. Right, and that was 1 week ago. So I uploaded that later than I would, because I uploaded it on a Tuesday, I think. On Tuesday on the 28th. I uploaded the thing I recorded on the 26th, I think. I think that's right? Yeah, I think so. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, I didn't sleep a lot today, because I'm trying to get back to normal sleeping pattern again. So yeah, that's something, you know. That's something. Maybe I don't need to have a loud volume, I don't know, you know. Really happy with the microphone so far, you know. This is only like the second time I'm using it, you know. I still don't know exactly how far away I should be from it, you know. And because, you know, I don't want to be like, because of the way the table is, you know, and stuff like that, you know. I'm actually gonna turn it down a little bit here. I shouldn't. No, it's actually not that. It's actually the volume slider here. I can turn it down to 24, I think is... Yeah, that sounds a bit better. Okay, great. So this is probably gonna be a 2-part or maybe even more than that, you know. Depending on how long I feel to record. So, yesterday I think it was. Let me check the date here. Or actually today. It was earlier in the morning today. But yeah, I basically only slept like 1 hour, maybe 2 hours at most today. So yeah, I couldn't sleep, mostly because of the sun and stuff that, you know. But it might do so I used sleep a little bit during the day, maybe sleep 1 or 2 hours during the day also at some point, you know, and maybe I can go to bed then at normal hours, you know. That's one more thing of being a smart person. But I watch a YouTube video on like if you are a genius, you know, signs of it being like you're a genius, you know, there are certain signs to it, you know, and stuff like that, you know. But then the weird thing about that is there are certain people then that like left a YouTube comment on that video that I saw, and there were people that went like, oh, but I have all of these, you know, all of these are correct, but I'm not a genius and blah blah blah, you know, and stuff that. And you know, for example, one of the things were that a lot of geniuses have like insomnia, a lot of them have problems sleeping and stuff that, you know. And a lot of people, you know, then a lot of people think that then if they go to bed early in the morning, you know, whatever, you know, people then think that that makes them, you know, that thing, you know. And there were like 10 different things that a lot of geniuses had in common, you know. So it's kind of like researchers have like proven like certain things that geniuses have in common, you know, so that they have certain very specific things, you know, that's very specific. I'm actually going to turn it up to 30 again here, because I want to be able to be further away from the microphone and it's still picking up the voice, you know, so I can be from this distance, you know, so I can like be further back, you know, and stuff like that, you know. So yeah, but for example, like certain people think that going to bed like 2 in the morning, which is like 2 hours after midnight, is like late and stuff that. Like people have to realize the thing is that the geniuses, you know, like when they go to bed, they go to bed super late. I mean, the latest I think I have ever gone to bed, I think it's been 15:00 the next day. And there was like one day once when I slept like 12 hours and I went to bed like, I went to bed the next day and then I went up the day after that, like 1 hour or 2 hours after midnight one day, you know. So then let's say it would be like, you were like, take this scenario then, you went to bed like on, you woke up on a Thursday, right? But then you went to bed on the Friday, and then you went to bed so late on the Friday that you slept until like Saturday, like the next day, like it's hard to explain, but yeah, like it's quite insane, you know, and like, you know, but yeah, but I mean that's the only real way you can try and change it, you know, if you get like very little sleep during one day, you know, because you can still like manage and stuff that like that, you know, like if you just sleep a bit during the day, you know, stuff that, but yeah. So that's something to think about. I'm wearing this shirt. Yeah. I actually wanted to record when I was wearing my other set of clothes and stuff like that, because I have a few different sets I can use, but it's still a bit better with the situation outside and stuff like that. We still haven't gotten a proper wardrobe yet. We need to get more of what's over here, which is the same as the one in the back there. Past the rainbow dash there, the wardrobe thing over there, you know. Or in the closets basically. So in those two closets I have filled with a bunch of stuff, you know, and stuff there. There are some clothes in this, but not that much. But I want us to get like more of these closets, you know, and then have closets outside here instead of having those big white things with my clothes in. And some of the clothes that are there are like way too old clothes, you know, stuff like that. So we need to at some point fix that mess outside here. We have had it basically like that outside of there since like we moved here like several years ago. So yeah, that's a bit, you know, like they want to do things but they never do it, you know. But anyways, on the 11th of March, which was today, but earlier today, I decided because I'm not getting a game this month, so I decided to pre-order the Unit Hunger Creator, the Hearthstone expansion coming out. So that gets you 50 AR card back and 50 packs. That's going to be available mid-April, but it's going to be available before 30th of April. But I know how that is usually. That usually would mean that it might be like, okay, 30th of April, so it might be available on the 26th, you know, because mid-April doesn't mean like, oh, like the 12th would be mid-April, but then it would probably be the 19th or the 26th. Because there was, during a certain expansion, it was really bad, like, yeah, like mid blah 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 this month, and then it wasn't mid that month, it was instead very late during that month, almost at the very end, and that pissed a lot of people off. And that was because they didn't say mid, they said like early, you know, and early meant that people thought it would be like the first week or the first few days within a certain month, you know, so that was a bit silly. I'm wearing my gaming glasses, which is MLG here. You can see the MLG license there on. If it focuses, yeah, MLG Melee Gaming. These are Gunnar, which you can see here. Oh, it's hard. Can it focus on that even? It's way too small, I think. But it basically says Gunnar there, and it's Phantom. Glass Onyx is this specific one. Let me just remove here so I can put this on and stuff. See, there you go. And these will like, I've had these for a long time, but sometimes I don't use them because they're a bit uncomfortable to use sometimes when you like, when you're wearing the headset and stuff. Oops. There are like small plastic things here on the thing, you know, which helps a bit, you know. But yeah, but it might be a way to have it like better so it's more comfortable and stuff that, like, you know, because I know there are, you know, like the worst thing is one of these headsets in, I don't know if it's on this side or if it's on the other side, but one of the things are breaking apart a bit, so it's losing a lot of the leather and stuff like that. So I don't know if it's time soon to buy new headphones instead of, because this microphone is, you know, completely broken now. I've taken out the thing. There is a thing that's used to be here, like a chip and stuff there, like a green chip that made the microphone that work. But I just threw it out because that time when the microphone wasn't working and there was a total silent clip that I recorded, It might have been because the microphone was getting a bit like it had opened up here, and then maybe the chip had gotten damaged, so maybe that's why it didn't work, you know. It should have worked, but it didn't, you know. I mean, now that I got this microphone, I mean, it's a big improvement, although I couldn't really be playing games like this. Like, I want to install that AMD recording thing again, which I used on my old channel when I did like the Adventures of Drunken in Bronzebeard, the Tawa, the TAO, like the Adventures of Drunken in Bronzebeard, which was the Draenei Warrior and stuff that, you know. So yeah, that is something, you know, that's going on. So we're about 10 minutes in here. I should probably end this clip now. Start at Hearthstone and maybe go over some cards or some decks I've been building, because I got also at that point 50 or a 40 card pack for Grimseeds of Garrison, and from now on I'm not gonna really be distancing any cards, including golden ones. I'm only gonna distance if I get extras of cards, you know. So if I have like a gold of a legendary and then a normal of the legendary, I'm not gonna distance off the normal one, unless I can get like an all gold collection, you know, eventually, you know. But yeah, so we're gonna stop it here. This has been part 1 of the Xenoxis Show for the 11th of March 2017. I'm just gonna start up Hearthstone, and I'll be right back for the next